What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I am here with part 2 of my top 20 albums of 2014. This is number 10 through number 1. To reiterate, this list is opinion, not fact. This is my list, not yours. Here we go. Coming in at number 10, Swallowed, Lunar Terrial. Finland certainly knows how to bring the metal. And as far as 2014 is concerned, Swallowed definitely brought that. This band is such a frightening hybrid of both death metal and doom metal. This band put out a decorated history of demos and a really awesome EP, but once it came to their full-length album, they really showcased how heavy they can truly be and how frightening they can truly be. From the reverbed vocals, to the insanely taut guitar riffs, to just the overall song structuring, even the closing act of this album at almost 30 minutes in length, it was just an absolutely incredible display of musicianship being shown here. If you are a fan of death metal and doom metal, Lunar Terrial definitely brought out the fearfulness of those respective music styles and definitely was a welcome thing to listen to. Finland definitely knows how to deliver when it comes to death metal, black metal, and doom metal, and I feel that Swallowed brought out the best in all of those qualities with Lunar Terrial, so that's number 10 on my list. Coming in at number 9, Autopsy, Tourniquets, Hacksaws, and Graves. Yeah. Autopsy are so legendary, and pretty much for the last 4 years or so they've been on a very awesome comeback trail, starting with 2011's Macabre Eternal and then returning in 2013 with the Headless Ritual. The Headless Ritual was pretty much a return to the older style of Autopsy, pretty much a shorter album length and pretty much straightforward, no chase. This was as Autopsy as it could get. But to think that they could do a quick 10-month turnaround and release another album within another year was just mind-boggling. You would think that they would have needed a little bit more extra time to create a new album and just, you know, not rush into things. But when it comes to a band as legendary as Autopsy, you need not worry about how they handle their business. They know exactly what they're doing, and they put out an album that I think is miles ahead of the Headless Ritual, and just something even more crazy and chaotic. I mean, The Howling Dead, Teeth of the Shadow Horde, King of Flesh Ripped, just some amazing songs here. Definitely an album that showcases the great songwriting ability of Eric Cutler. He is such a mastermind behind the songwriting and the guitar work. Him and Danny Corrales are definitely the riff masters of Autopsy. They definitely bring such an amazing force and chemistry into their sound. The great riffs, the schizoid sort of riffs, the acoustic parts, and of course the mighty Chris Reifert delivering his amazing vocal work and drum work. He is as inspired as he can ever be. He's still got it. He's still got it going on. Of course, Joe Trevisano delivering some amazing bass work as well. He's probably one of the better things to happen to Autopsy in quite a long time, and I'm really happy that they can put out another really amazing record in the amount of time that they did. Quick turnaround time for another album. I would say Tourniquets, Hacksaws, and Graves is a success, so Autopsy deliver another great death metal record. Coming in at number 8, Cretin, Stranger. I have been waiting for a lot of bands to deliver new material and new albums, but one of the bands that definitely came to mind for a brand new album for a long time of waiting was Cretin. I am a huge fan of their 2006 debut, Freakery. From the lyrics to the vocals, the songwriting, it pretty much is the modern representation of Repulsion worship. Pretty much straight up proto-death metal mixed with the speed and tenacity of grindcore. And Cretin was the perfect band to deliver that style. But ever since that album, many big changes have come from this band. Their especially with their vocalist, guitar player, the addition of a second guitar player, just a lot of great, crazy things. Even Marissa was in Repulsion for a brief period of time since then. But now, after all this time, Cretin have returned and have delivered a record that is even more outlandishly crazy, a lot more freaky, a lot more in-depth, and musically much better. I love the production that they did with Freakery here. I love the soundscapes of this album. I love the ebb and flow of musicianship. I love the harsh vocal styles, the interplay. Like I said about Freakery, I love the lyrics and the stories on that album, but here on Stranger, things get a lot crazier and a lot more deeper. I mean, it's weird stuff, but definitely Cretin know how to pull it off. I love the riff work. I love the musicianship, the fast drumming, very catchy splash cymbal parts going on here. I really love that. But this was well worth the 8-year wait. Cretin have returned and have delivered such an amazing record. So support Cretin and Stranger. Coming in at number 7, Gorgasm, Destined to Violate. I've listened to a lot of brutal death metal releases in 2014, but to me, the one album that stood above it all, far and away, more than any other release, was the brand new album from Gorgasm. They came back in 2011 with Orgy of Murder, and pretty much it was a return to business as usual. But with this brand new album, they searched deep within their souls to deliver a death metal record that is just so old school from the heart, and just so much amazing things going on in that record. I mean, this is the blueprint for what a brutal death metal record should sound like, and it is so well evidented on this album, from the crystal clear production, not too crystal clear, but clear to the point where you can definitely know that there is a lot of hard work and detail being brought forth to it, to the natural sounding musicianship, incredible drum performance by Kyle Christman. He is an amazing drummer. He definitely has come a long way. And pretty much the vocal interplay, the differing vocal styles, the delivery of lyrics, the wordplay, it is just so sensational. Very gut-wrenching riffs being displayed here. Crazy lyrics, uncomfortable lyrics. That's what Gorgasm know exactly how to do, and they delivered that with Destined to Violate. Amazing tracks all the way through. This definitely can stand right next to Masticate to Dominate. It's probably one of the best things that Gorgasm have ever done. This is a brutal death metal masterpiece, and definitely will be the blueprint for many other albums of this nature for many years to come. So Gorgasm have delivered a brutal death metal masterpiece. Coming in at number 6, Blut aus Nord, Memoria Vestusta, Saturnian Poetry. Yeah, one of the craziest black metal bands to ever come out of France. This band can definitely take any sort of musical style and soundscape and mold it into their own black metal universe. Whether it's straight up traditional black metal to even more melodic or even cold industrial sort of sounds, Blut aus Nord definitely did that, and they definitely delivered some incredibly memorable series. The 777 releases, the What Once Was EPs, and then a return to a more older sort of story for this band, the Memoria Vestusta series. This is where they begin to verge into more Emperor, trying to think of some more melodic black metal bands, Sacramentum, that sort of style. They definitely recaptured those qualities on this Saturnian Poetry record, and it just sounded so amazing. They can definitely make any sort of black metal style all their own, and throughout the 7 songs that are on here, it is just so sweeping. The amazing guitar riffs, the tenacity of the speed of the drums, the great vocal work, the harsh vocals, the cleans. There was just so much beauty and grace being presented here on this album. It's a very well packaged release, it's a very well produced release, and Blut aus Nord definitely have reclaimed a return to a sound that is just so amazing. This is how a melodic black metal record is supposed to sound like, and I think it just sounds so beautiful. So, Blue Snore deliver another great release, and it is cool to finally have them in a top 20 of mine. Now we get to the top 5. Coming in at number 5, Thantafaxith, Sacred White Noise. There's been a lot of black metal releases in 2014, but I have not heard a black metal release as so daring and so original as Sacred White Noise. I mean, these guys are from Canada, but yet they have a shroud of secrecy to them. We don't know who they are, we don't know who's who, but they are just so intimidating and domineering. I mean, from the minute you hear the riff work being done on the Bright White Nothing at the end of the tunnel, it's just so intricate. It's like a puzzle piece. You have to figure it out to put it all together. Just the musicianship and creativity on that song, and then for the next 5 tracks soon after, it's just so amazing to listen to. I really love what this band does with black metal. It is just so crazy. It doesn't sound like your traditional, typical run-of-the-mill black metal record. They really make it all their own, and they make it sound so incredibly devastating. I mean, the riff work is just so intricate. I love the clean bass. I love the harsh sort of vocal style that this band brings. Very understandable, but very maniacal and crazy. This was an album that I really liked at first, but upon listening to it more and more, I grew to love it even more. And this is definitely a black metal band to definitely lead things on to into better, greater opportunities. I mean, as great as traditional black metal is, Thantafaxith bring such an amazing level of mystery and depth to their sound, so Sacred White Noise is definitely legit. Coming in at number 4, Gridlink, Longhenna. The masters of technical grindcore, I would say. And from what I understand, this could possibly be the last record we hear from Gridlink, and if this is really the swan song that this band has to put out, they've delivered something incredibly amazing here with Longhenna. Pretty much, if you kept up with Amber Grey or Orphan, this band definitely kicks things up so many notches, and it just sounds phenomenal. From Brian Fajardo's drumming, to Takafumi Matsubara's guitar playing, to even John Chang's insane vocal style, his high-pitched screaming vocals, his lyrical content is just so amazing. He is definitely one of the best lyric writers and storytellers in the realm of extreme music, metal, grindcore, whatever you want to call it. And he definitely delivers some of the best lyrics and stories to be read on this album. I mean, just an insanely fast grindcore record. It's, of course, the longest Gridlink album, but it's still short at like, what, 22, 23 minutes. But I still think this is top quality technical grindcore. It's clean without being too polished. The riff work is great. The bass tones are amazing. The drums are incredible, and the vocal work is just so insanely fast. I love that about Longhenna, and definitely Gridlink have left a great impact on grindcore and extreme metal, so much love to Gridlink. Coming in at number 3, Nightbringer, Ego Dominus Tus. Some great United States black metal. This band has always been delivering some incredibly epic and detailed music, but here with Ego Dominus Tus, they delve even deeper into their occult sort of mythologies, and with every single song, every single lyric, every riff, every blast beat, every vocal shriek, this is how a US black metal is supposed to get things done, I would say. Nightbringer definitely do that here with Ego Dominus Tus. It is just so elaborate and mysterious. I love that about Ego Dominus Tus. I love the song structuring. I love the fact that every song takes its time to get the point across, and it definitely makes you think alongside to banging your head to it. This is a great US black metal record, and I definitely will say that Nightbringer have delivered probably my favorite black metal record of this year with Ego Dominus Tus, so support Nightbringer. Coming in at number 2, Full of Hell and Merzbow. Full of Hell are one of my favorite hardcore punk bands in the world, and when I found out that they were going to be doing a collaboration with Masami Akita, aka Merzbow, I was so very excited to hear the finished product. How was it going to be played out? How was it going to be presented? And I believe they pulled it off extremely well. The payoff was well worth the wait. The noise aspects of this album are insane, but of course it's typical Full of Hell business as usual. These guys are getting better and better with time. I'm loving the songwriting, I'm loving the lyrics, I'm loving the insane drumming, riffing, heavy bass tones. The vocal work is phenomenal too. I definitely think that Dylan is becoming a more and more incredible frontman as time goes by, and I am definitely looking forward to Full of Hell continuing to find their true sounds and grow as musicians and as people. I think this noise aspect is incredible too, and of course if you have the CD, you of course get the bonus disc, which is the more Merzbow orientated side of things. I definitely think that that aspect of the album is just amazing. I love Full of Hell and Merzbow, and definitely is my favorite release within hardcore, power violence, grind, and any sort of release. I just think it's amazing. So Full of Hell and Merzbow are definitely for real. And coming in at number 1. Well, making a list like this has been very difficult. There has been one album that I have been stuck onto ever since it came out. I was on it when I found out that the CD was available. I woke up at, I want to say maybe like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to order the vinyl through Hell's Headbangers because I knew it was sold out. But, excuse me, this is very much worth the wait. Coming in at number 1 on my list is Titan Blood with Death. You cannot get any more straight to the point than that with an album title called Death. It is amazing. This is what a black death metal record is supposed to sound like. So scary, so frightening, so fearful. This definitely has everything you would want in a black death release and a great deal more. Insane vocal deliveries, very in-depth detailed lyrics, great songwriting and execution. I mean, just some amazing, well-detailed songs. I mean, Sleeping Throats of the Antichrist, Cadaver Synod, and even the end of this record, Silence of the Great Martyrs. This was well worth the wait, and this is definitely a worthy second album to Seven Chalices. I think Titan Blood have delivered my favorite album of this year, and definitely a landmark for the Black and Death Underground. So, number 1 on my list is Titan Blood, Death. It is worth it, and a great deal more. So that's my list. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what your favorite releases of 2014 have been, and I would like to thank every single one of you for subscribing and checking my videos out for this year. You all mean the world to me. I cannot thank you enough for your support. So let's get ready to make 2015 an amazing year. So I'm going to conclude this video. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel, and until the next time, Armijo out.